Hi, welcome to CNY Woman Knits and Crochets. I'm Mindy, your host, coming to you from Syracuse, New York, in upstate New York. I am going to show you what I've been working on this week, what I have gotten. I did not purchase it. I got it for free. So I am still not buying yarn. We're the third week into January and I haven't bought any yarn, so this is good. I hope that you guys have had a great week, and I'm hoping to show you all the things, as one the yarn addict says. The first thing I worked on this week were a lot of hats. Two of them are out of this yarn, which is Karen Sprinkle Cakes. I bought that for like $4.99 at Ollie's a couple of years ago. Ollie's is a discount chain that's up here in this area. And I got two hats out of it. This is the Pike Street hat, a variation on that, which is a Lion brand pattern that's free from them. It normally calls for Woolies Thick and Quick, but this is a super bulky weight, so I just substituted that yarn. It does some color changing, as you can see, 3 different colors of blue. And then this is another hat that I made that is also a variation on Pike Street. I just turned up the ribbing so you can see that you can make a regular hat out of it. Let's see what else I got. I have a hat that fell on the floor, so give me just a second. Then we have this hat, which is out of another old Michaels yarn that is Loops and Threads Country Loom Color Burst. And this was 99 cents per skein at Ollie's a couple of years ago. So I picked up 2 skeins. I made a big giant ski hat. It's very fuzzy. It's a boucle yarn, meaning that it's kind of bumpy. And this will make a nice warm hat for somebody. You can kind of see the different colors that are in there. And it's 100% acrylic. The next hat I made was the one that I had shown you guys that I was going to make out of Premier Bloom Chunky. This is from a Hobby Lobby clearance sale from either last year or a couple years ago, where it was marked down to $1.12 from $4.49. And one skein makes one kid size hat or one adult hat. And this is, the pattern is called, or the color is called Violet. So you can kind of see it's mostly white, and then there's a little patterning that happens because of the way the yarn's printed. The next thing I worked on and finished this week was out of Unforgettable, which is a Red Heart yarn that you can still get. I got mine in a mystery pack from Joann's, and I have another pack of it that's in purple that I'll probably make the same kind of shawl with. So what I made was a granny triangle. I used 3 skeins that were in the pack, and I used a size J crochet hook. You can find the beginning for this pattern on the Kaleidoscope shawl that Marley Bird and Crochet Crowd and Yarnspirations has the free pattern up on their website. It's called the Kaleidoscope shawl. I chose not to do the mesh part of it. I discontinued with the granny square or granny cluster pattern and just made a granny shawl. This thing is pretty wide. It's as wide as my wingspan is. So it'll make a nice shawl for somebody. And the color is called Whimsical, if I didn't say that already. And then the last thing that I'm working on, one second. is out of either you love it or you hate it. This is the kind of yarn that is very divisive. It's, in my opinion, it's an easy yarn to work with because I do not tension my yarn when I knit. I am really loosey-goosey. So what I wound up doing is going down a needle size. This is, of course, the infamous Lion Brand Homespun. This color is called Peony. It's pink. It's kind of showing as more orange than it really is. It's really Pepto-Bismol pink in real life. I have 3 skeins of this. When it was the 6 skeins for $12 sale, I got 3 skeins of Mandala in Phoenix, and then I got 3 skeins of Homespun Peony, or Homespun in Peony. So I got 3 skeins to make a shawl, and this is the shawl that I am making. If you have ever, there is a free pattern on Lion Brand's website. It's the really simple one that when you start a dishcloth, you can make a triangle first. And I'm just making a triangle. I am using size 10.5 needles, I believe. They don't have the markings on them, but I think they're 10.5s. So that's a 6.5 millimeter, I believe. And just started with 7 stitches because I like to start with 7 stitches on a shawl. I don't know why, I just do. I don't like the point right at the bottom. I like kind of a little tapered edge. And then this is just working on it. This is after I had started it last night and I was doing a 3x3 rib, and I thought if I do a 3x3 rib, I'm going to go insane. So I decided that I was not going to do a 3x3 rib for the rest of my life. So I yanked it out this morning, and a couple of hours of knitting, and I've got probably half a skein gone, a third to a half a skein. And like I said, I have 2 more skeins after this. So that'll keep me busy all day. I have this is a tip if you like classic Doctor Who, which I do. There is an app that is free that is called Tubi, at least in the United States, Tubi. They run commercials, so that's how they make their revenue. But they have the classic Doctor Who's on there for free. So you just sign up, you get an account, I can cast it to my television because I have a Chromecast, and I have smart TV, so I could broadcast it even without the Chromecast, but I just do it that way because it's easier. And I'm up to the Pertwee ones, which is the 3rd Doctor. I've been through Hartnell and Patrick Troughton. Some of those episodes I've never seen before because those were before I was born. They were before I was born, or when I was a very small kid and didn't know about public television yet. My doctor that I grew up with is Tom Baker, so I'll probably rewatch all those episodes even though I've seen them a million times because they're so good. They're funny. He put a playful sense of humor into it. So I hope that you, like I said, it's called Tubi, Tubi, and that'll get you the classic Doctor Who for free in the United States. I don't know about other countries. So that's what I've been working on. I am using stash yarn. All of this has been stash yarn. One final thing, if you saw my little quick short the other day, I did go into Michael's. I did come out with yarn. This is Scarfy, which is a Lion Brand yarn. It was on clearance for $5. This color is called Mint Silver, and it has like a light green in the middle and gray and like that mint green. So the reason I went into Michael's was because all of a sudden I had a $5 voucher. I don't know why I have a $5 voucher. I think they just gave it out to me out of the kindness of their hearts, trying to get me back in because they noticed I hadn't been in for quite a while. And so I thought, well, if I find something in the clearance bin or I find something on sale, maybe I'll buy that. And this was $5 exactly. So I went to the counter. I presented my voucher on my phone. She clicked it. I got this yarn for free. So I did not buy yarn. That is the one thing I am not doing until the Hobby Lobby clearance sale. And if you see the Hobby Lobby clearance sale, feel free to let me know. Like, I'm on Instagram as KnitterCNY. If you see it in your store, let me know. Because last year it was at the end of February, beginning of March. It used to be in June. So I don't know what they're going to do this year. Whether or not they're going to even have it. Who knows? Because they are under new management. They're under new ownership. So I don't know what they're planning on doing. So the worst that happens is I work off the stash in the dining room, which I have a lot of. I've moved some things. I also got rid of 10 skeins of yarn this week. I was watching my goddaughter last weekend, and her parents were out of town. So I watched my goddaughter last weekend, and she was talking on the phone like a 12-year-old does with all of her little friends. And she told me about one of her little friends who crochets. And I said, well, does she want some yarn? And she said, let me ask her. I'm on the phone with her right now. And she said, yeah, she'll take some yarn. So I dropped off 10 skeins of Big Twist yarn and a skein. I think it was 8 skeins of Big Twist yarn, Impeccable, one of Impeccable, and one of Heat Wave, which was my very last Heat Wave skein that I have. So 10 skeins in all. I got rid of it. I'm closer to using up the yarn in the dining room, and I'm willing to let some of that yarn go to, somebody who's relatively new at crocheting. But my goddaughter said she always carries a skein of yarn in her backpack. So she's a true aficionado. So she deserves some free yarn. So I felt good about doing that. And it emptied some space on the bookshelf, so I moved some stuff down. These are Woolies hand painted from Ocean City Job Lots. And then this is some Red Heart Soft Essentials. I've got that, and I think I've got a purple over here. There's a purple and a beige that I want to put together in a project. They're a size 5 weight that I got in my Red Heart mystery box. So this podcast has been long enough. You deserve to go have fun and go craft. It's Sunday, the third week in, I don't know what the date is today. I think today is the 21st of 2024. So hopefully you guys have a great week. And if you're using some of your stash, please feel free to use the hashtag that I've set up. I'm using it all year long for using up the yarn in my dining room, which is CNYW Stash Down 2024. I'm using that over on Instagram. I'm also posting. I get double post over to Facebook as well. They're the same exact post. So I hope that you guys have a great week, and please craft something. It is good for your mental health in these dark and dreary days. Thank you. Have a good week. Bye-bye.